Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser here with U-High junior quarterback Blake Abney, who helped lead those Cubs back to a state championship game and to their first state championship since 2018. They went out to Lafayette and beat Edie White 14-7 to bring one home back to Baton Rouge. Blake, what are you going to remember most about some of this, man? It's been certainly a memorable, magical season for y'all. When you start to look back on it a little bit, what stands out?
I mean, go undefeated, getting our first state championship since, you said 2018 team, it was really special. Just really glad, we had 20 seniors, so I'm just really glad, we got in their state championship before they graduated. So it's really a special season.
This was a team that even in the offseason, folks looked at how much talent there was in some different places. The defense was stacked. Y'all had some good experience coming back offensive line. And when I saw you guys in the summer, it was kind of you and your junior classmate Hudson Osborne are battling to see who's going to get a chance to lead this thing. Take me through from that point where y'all are kind of pushing each other to you being outstanding player, voted on by the media in a state championship game, completing 11 of 14 passes, including that first touchdown. How crazy of a journey and a process and a growth was that for you from the junior trying to kind of fill a role to being a key piece of this thing down the stretch?
It was crazy. Going into the summer, we knew we had the QB competition going. It was really competitive, through 7-on-7 boot camp and even the first two games, And it was just really competitive. We would go out every day in practice. We have really good defense, so it was just we know we both had to make the most out of our opportunities, and it was just really competitive, and it was good competition.
When did things click for you that you kind of felt like you could be the type of playmaker for the team that you became, and go from that competition and go from maybe a guy that's just thinking, all right, I just have to play this role and not mess things up for the seniors, to actually being that key piece on offense?
Yeah, well, first game of the year we went to Central, and coach told me and Hudson, he was like, "We y'all are both gonna play, so we want to see what both y'all can do." So I know I just had to make the most of my opportunities and get in the game, and not be nervous, or anything like that. Just go out there and do my thing, and I think I did a good job.
I want to ask you, I guess, about a couple of your receivers along the way too. Jason Barnes Jr. is a guy that gets overlooked constantly because he's smaller than the prototypical receiver, and yet it seems like every Friday night we were watching him put out some highlight play here or there, or maybe stacking several of them together on a Friday night. How much fun was it to work with him? What did he bring to that offense? And just for you to be able to get the ball to a dude like that can get upfield in a hurry, how beneficial was that as a young quarterback?
Yeah, it really helped me out. He's an amazing player, and he's gonna do good things at the next level. And it's just he's always open, so he made it easy for me.
Eden Stagg, a guy that moved back to Baton Rouge after having been at Southside earlier in his career. How smooth of a transition into y'all's group? So many of y'all that had been together in previous years, Eden came in and seemed like he fit right in.
Yeah, he fit perfectly in. Year before that, we had, I think, like 4 seniors receivers, and a lot of them graduated. So we knew that we needed some key guys to step up, and I think Eden did a good job, like moving in and filling that role.
As you guys start making that playoff run, what were some of the conversations like in terms of knowing what the goal was and what still needed to be done and executed to accomplish that? What were some of the kind of keys for y'all along the way that you said, as long as we take care of this, it's going to work out?
I think we just needed to keep doing what we were doing all year. We did a good job putting up points all year through district and through all the games we played. And before we played De La Salle, they were a really good team. I think we all just talked to each other about how we just needed to take care of the ball, and not force turnovers, not have stupid penalties and stuff like that, and just manage the game like we've done all year.
Y'all end up in probably more than a lot of people necessarily even expected, a slugfest with that top-seeded Edie White team that was making its furthest run in decades, and they're able to get an early takeaway that kind of helped fuel them a little bit, and I think build some of their confidence, and they're right there with y'all 7-7 in the second half, and then y'all make that last drive to go up 14-7, and your defense picks you up and holds it there at the end. The last, I guess, few drives or last quarter and a half or so of that game, how I guess, how was the energy on the sideline? What were the conversations and communications like? Did y'all feel like it was yours there to take pretty much throughout?
So, first drive of the game, we went down and scored on the third play of the game. And, we thought we were going to put up a ton of points. But, we ran into some adversity, not through a pick on a screen pass, which would like, we wasn't supposed to happen like that. JB tripped on an offensive lineman. So we knew that we were driving the ball good the whole game and that we were, like, forcing them, like, into the red zone and stuff. But we just made some mistakes. We knew we were good. We just need to keep doing what we were doing.
You mentioned a central game early in the season. Y'all played Woodlawn right after that. So you played some 5A competition. When you look at the way this year ends and y'all are one of the 9 state championship standing and y'all have shown your ability to kind of compete at any level, how good is this team regardless of classification? Where do you guys stack up? And I don't necessarily need you to like rank the other teams or anything, but clearly y'all feel like y'all can go out there and compete with just about anyone.
Yeah, after the Woodlawn game, I think we really proved to the whole state that we could hang with anyone because, Woodlawn was a really good team. They're 5A, and they made a good run in the playoffs, and they beat a lot of good teams. So I think after that game, we kind of proved to everyone that, like, we can play with anyone in the state.
Those 2 receivers I mentioned are now graduating. You lose Rodeo there behind you in the backfield, Austin Osbury, and some of these guys are headed off to the next level. Several members of that defense. For y'all that will be back next year, this class of 2023, you, Jaden, and several other members, and even some of the younger guys. Harry will be just a junior next year. Keelan will be just a freshman. What do y'all start talking about now, knowing that there's still a year or more ahead for some of y'all? How do you build on this?
A lot of kids in our class, our junior class, we all talked about how, like, we want to do the same thing next year, And we got a lot of young guys, we got to get them on board what we were doing this year, And it's not going to be good right off the bat, we're going to have some trouble at first, but I think we're going to be a really good team going on, like, towards the end of the season.
Who are some other young guys other than some of those obvious ones that I mentioned? And, I mean, people know Tony Burns a little bit because his big brother Major was such a big name coming out of Madison Prep a couple years ago. Marcus Dawson, might be an interesting one to talk about. Just he's come on so strong. But other young guys that played those roles for y'all that you think are going to continue to take that next step forward and be big pieces for y'all your senior year and beyond?
With JB and Eden graduating, we have a sophomore receiver, Seth Gale. He really filled a good role for us last year. He was our 4th receiver, so he did a good job. And then we have Trip Singer. He was a good receiver. He's a junior. Then we have Granville. He's a good receiver too. And defensively, we have Jade and Harry returning, which is key for us because they're 2 of our best players last year. And then you said Keelan. He's one of our main guys returning, and then we have Alec. He did a good job last year on special teams, and like you said, Tony and Marcus, they'll be like key roles in the secondary. So I think we got a lot of good dudes returning. So I think we'll be pretty good.
Some of those young guys, and we mentioned several sophomores and at least one freshman. What was it like as an older guy to see the impact that they were able to make at such a young age? Keelan, again, I mean, similar to what we mentioned with Tony, people know him because his big brother, Dylan Moses, was such a big story and headline prospect coming through U High, but he walks on campus and he's already that type of athlete. What is it like to see some of the plays that they could make for y'all on this run, again, as sophomores and freshmen?
Yeah, it's crazy. Keelan, just the stuff he did as a freshman is unbelievable. I mean, some of the plays he made, you're like, you can't believe that kid's a freshman. And I think Harry also as a sophomore, he led the team in tackles. So, that was crazy too. They just both did a really good job stepping up.
Good deal, Blake. Well, I appreciate you certainly chatting about some of the state championship season. It was definitely a fun one to watch.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
You got it. Again, he's Blake Abney, the junior starting quarterback for the U High Cubs, was the outstanding player winner in that state championship game, bringing the Cubs' first state championship since 2018 back to Baton Rouge. And for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser.